every day means every day, but I got to be honest with you. Some of y'all are confused. And some of you guys are confused. I had a call the other day where I was training a group of up and coming speakers, online coaches, trainers, etc. And I asked the question specifically for those of them who wanted to be keynote speakers. I said, do you think that the amount of followers that you have on Instagram has an effect on how often you get booked? Do you think that it makes a difference? And over half of them responded, no, I don't think it makes any difference. I said, let me explain something to you. At least in this country, and I tend to believe around the world, but especially in the United States of America, this is a capitalistic system. And you're under the impression that because you're gifted, because you're talented, because you have an anointing for this, because you felt called to it, because you feel like this is your purpose, you feel like that entitles you to opportunity. As a matter of fact, let's just go another step further. You think that because you're the best at what you do, that entitles you to an opportunity. What you fail to realize is that in the system we find ourselves in, merit is not the number one determining factor of who gets opportunities and who does not. No, 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 no. Follow the money, people. I told these speakers, listen, this is not a video for speakers. I'm going somewhere with this. Hang with me. But I told these speakers, I said, listen, if you're the best in the world, let's just say you are the absolute greatest at speaking on whatever particular topic that you focus on. You're the best in the world. Nobody even comes close. But you have 8,000 followers on Instagram. And then you find somebody who's the 12th best in the world or the 15th best in the world. They're still good. Like, they still have a reasonable level of talent, of confidence, of proficiency in the skill that is in question here. They're still good. They're just not quite up to your level. They're not one of one. They're not phenomenal. They're not incredible. But they have 1.2 million followers on Instagram. And everybody knows that when we get this person to come speak at our event, to come host our show, to come, coach our clients, whatever it is, then that brings in more attention, more eyeballs, more ticket sales, more revenue, more money, more ads, more sponsors. This is how the game works. And too many of you are sitting here thinking, if I just work on myself, if I just do all this personal development stuff, if I read enough books, if I do all the right things, then maybe somebody will just freely hand me an opportunity. And I'll be honest, you can get to a certain level that way. You just get really, really, really good at what you do. You can get to a certain level. Like, you can get to maybe 100 grand a year. You can get to six figures. You can get to that level. You can get to being respected in your space, but you're not going to become a household name. You're not going to make millions. You're not going to be that person that when somebody thinks of an industry, when somebody thinks of a concept or a topic, they say, oh, that's the guy that runs that. You're not going to get there unless you take it. And you take it through marketing yourself, through portraying that confidence maybe before you even have it, through declaring and decreeing, I am the best at whatever it is you're trying to be the best at. But it bothers me when I see so many people who are genuinely gifted and talented, who are genuinely passionate about what they do, who are genuinely called and purposeful towards a mission, right? But they just are a little too humble and they don't understand the marketing aspect of, like, no, you have to take those opportunities. You have to push yourself into those positions. And a lot of people just don't get that. And I think the problem that I have with it is not even the fact that that's the way that the system is set up. The problem that I have with it is that what ends up happening is we have a lot of really, really great, incredible, amazing people who end up being discouraged because they don't get the rewards that they think that they should. And they're not getting those rewards because they don't deserve them. They're not getting those rewards. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. They're not getting the rewards because they are not aware of how the game works. That's what bothers me. And so then those people end up giving up. And they end up easing off the gas and they say, oh, well, maybe it just wasn't meant for me. No, it was meant for you, but you thought it was going to come to you instead of you going and taking it. That's the issue. And it just kills me to see so many people with so much potential that let it die out because they don't know how to play the game. So the purpose of this video is very, very simple. Is this only for people who want to be influencers or speakers or coaches? No, it's not. It's for everybody that has a dream, that has a goal. You must understand that just becoming qualified is not enough. You have to network. You have to put yourself out there. You have to market yourself. You have to push. You have to push. And you cannot expect or anticipate or think that just because you're deserving and just because you're qualified, that what you want out of life is going to come to you, because that's not how it works. I hope that this was a perspective shift for you. I hope it makes you go back to the drawing board, maybe map out a plan of how you're going to push yourself, how you're going to market yourself out there. Because I'm telling you, that's the difference maker. If you enjoyed this, be sure to share it with somebody else, comment below, and don't forget, every day means every day. Peace.